Good evening, good afternoon.
Right. Good afternoon. How's
I do
everyone?
that every
Good
week.
afternoon.
That I guess that's gonna be one of those things I do every week. I'm so used to evening. Good
Yeah, that's okay.
afternoon. How y'all doing?
Doing
All
good.
is
How are you?
well.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Welcome to the Watch Dogs. Welcome
Another
to the
week.
Watch Dogs. We are here today to discuss. Somebody got their something on in the car.
Mhm.
Okay, that's
So yeah.
DVI. Okay,
Okay.
so we appreciate everybody tuning in. Y'all share, and we're going to be talking about part two to our discussion. Was it last week or week before last?
It was last week, and it was an opportunity to open up the conversation about, you know, when we select leaders, what we look forward to in leaders, if we have any expectations, and that comes in light of, with elections going on, how we tend to, some people tend to support people because, oh, they're my friend. I went to school with them, instead of looking for real substance in what a person is offering.
Yeah, okay. But we got us a young man here that just graduated from college today. Was it today?
Yes, sir. Today.
Today. Awesome, awesome.
Hmm.
And he's a biology major in pre med. So you going to be a doctor, or you going? Are you what?
A doctor in sports medicine.
Okay, doctor in sports medicine. Okay,
Yes,
okay. Robert gonna need a doctor after a while. He keep messing up.
As long as he can prescribe pain meds, I'm good.
sir.
Okay, well, you one of those gentlemen that looks like you could be a great leader for your community, and we appreciate you coming on and sharing your thoughts today from a younger perspective, and we're going to get that from you. You fresh out of college, graduated today. We're
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank
So,
you.
Robert, you can take off and do what you do, and we'll just chime in.
Yeah, man. So one of the reasons, well, several reasons we want to bring Davion on it was because one, he looks at it probably from a different perspective. We all look at leadership at, I think, a generational lens, and then based on his context of coming from a rural part of Georgia, going to Savannah State, becoming a leader there, and what that looks like. And so we'll start there because I know he wants to celebrate his graduation. But I think one of the things I'll ask both of you all, and any callers who want to call in, when you look at leadership overall, what does that look like for you? And you can take that question however you interpret it. And we'll start
I
with you,
was
David. Now.
okay. Um, I would say personally, for me, just somebody that just gonna always step out. Um, like even if I have to, if I have to speak or something like that. If somebody asks me to do something, I'm going to be the first one to do it. A lot
Hmm.
of people don't have that leadership skills to, get up and do that. So as a leader, that's my main thing, and that's something that I do um, at a convention, at a like with my major. If I went to a convention with my major, they asked to present something. Hey, I'm the first one to do it. Or in class, somebody gonna ask a question, or the teacher asks something. Hey, I'm the first one to do it. Real life scenarios like now that I'm graduating, moving to
Hmm.
Jacksonville, getting my master's in kinesiology. It's like, hey, now that I'm here now, hey, you gotta sit down, you gotta study, but hey, you also a leader. So don't get too comfortable and in the back burns just because you finish all of your undergrad stuff and you're going off to the real world or you're going off to school again. But at the end of the day, you're going to continue to be that leader. So always step out and do what you got to do to be that leader.
Okay, okay. That sounds awesome. And that's the thing. And today we have a lot of leaders that are leading for themselves
Mhm.
instead of
Mm-hmm.
leading for the people.
Right.
And that's one of the problems in most cities these days. When people get elected, they think that they're there for themselves. And when people elect you, you're campaigning on the premise that you're going to do what's right for the people.
Right.
And when you run like that and you're elected, you should govern like that. And because those are campaign promises you made that you've broken. And we have a lot of that in this city. This is a selfish area here. But it ain't just Savannah, it's all over the country. People get elected and it's all about them. And we call those people politicians. But when you're a servant, then you serve the people. And that's the difference in the type of leadership. Opposed to leadership back 50, 60 years ago when you had people like MLK, Malcolm X, Nelson Mandela, people that were on the forefront and would die for the cause, that would actually did die for the cause. But today, you know, they'll die for a dollar. They'll sell out for a dollar. So that's part of the problem. And we got young leaders like yourself. When you see, you have to get around the right people so that you can be nurtured and 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 trained to be the leader for the people. And that's the kind of leaders that we need these days. I know I talk too much, and y'all can go ahead and talk about whatever you want to talk about. Because if I go to starting, I'm gonna go from the politicians to the preachers, and y'all don't want me going there today.
Well, I think we'll end up there at some point. And it's interesting you say that. We just witnessed this week Mayor Bottoms resigned and decided not to run for a second term. Some people want to say it's self driven. She only did it for a certain reason. Some people want to say, well, that's real leadership, and she knew when it was time to pass the baton. What do you all? And this may be open a can of worms. I hope it does. But what are you all saying? What do some of our viewers say about that?
What Devion, you familiar with Keisha Lance Bottoms in Atlanta?
Yes, yes, sir, I am. And what I would say about that is I do agree with, when the time is up, like the time is up. At the end of the day, you're always going to be a leader, but give that opportunity to somebody else. To, do as maybe you inspired somebody or maybe you encourage somebody to do it. So not that she giving it up or didn't, resign. I mean, she not doing a second term, that's okay. That's okay. That's not showing that she's a failure or that anything. She's not selfish at all. She want everybody to succeed. She wants somebody else to do that job. So yeah, I most definitely agree with it. At some point of time, you do have to give it up and not give it up in a way of just don't lead, not leading at all. But she's still gonna lead, but she's gonna lead somewhere else, not in that position.
Well, Chuck says she was too connected to the previous mayor Kasim Reed. You know, um, I talked to a couple of people out in Atlanta, Chuck, and they seemed to think that she was frustrated. That she was frustrated because everything that she was doing, they were reversing. She was trying to be the mother to every man in Atlanta, and she
Mm,
can't do that. And the two or three people that I talked to there said that she was frustrated because people that she fired for doing wrong were reinstated. So
mm,
it was trying to show her that something was wrong with the system. If she was going through all this to try to do right by the people, then um, and then it was being reversed. She was getting frustrated with it, and she just said she could do better somewhere else and wouldn't be running for mayor again. She hadn't resigned though, did she, Robert? She just said that
Well,
she is
no,
not.
she didn't resign. She just
Oh,
decided not to seek
turn. Yeah.
another term. But
Okay.
and I think that's part of it. I mean, I think there's a number of things when we what's interesting to me is people can always talk about what they would have done and offer all these complaints. But until you're in those shoes, until you're walking those hallways, until you're dealing with what she's dealing with, we don't actually know what the context. That's what we always do. We tend to remove the context from what's going on. And honestly, you got all this crime going on. You got people blaming you for this crime, and I knew this Buckhead conversation was going to come up, and what that looks like for those of you who don't know. Many years ago, Buckhead wanted to separate and become its own city. We all know why. We're not going to have that conversation today. We get it. I mean, we really much get it. But um, what that does is have a significant economic impact on the city of Atlanta. So that conversation has come back up. Well, Buckhead now wants to have its own city. Well, we understand what the why of that. If any of us has any common sense, we understand what that why looks like. And so I think with all these things going on, and honestly, it's not her fault. But when you get in a context where it's always being blamed on you, or like you said, Julius, nothing ever, it becomes frustrating, and you do decide, hey, what's the point here? The only problem with that is, especially with city council pushing back and others who don't want to work with her, is, and this goes to other politicians, is to think about the people. I use Mitch McConnell, for example, who made the statement recently that his goal is to block all of Biden's administration's work. Well, what about working for the people? And I think that's a great conversation to segue into is what about the people when politicians decide to jump in and manage from a lens of self-interest?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's basically what the problem is. And you have what I would tell Mayor Bottoms is that you're serving for the interests of the people. It is not about you. If you feel like you can do some good, then stay in the fight and continue to fight because the people need somebody that gives them hope, not somebody who puts dope in their arm. The people need somebody who is a champion of their causes. And if you can look at locally here. You have people that are fighting, and they get frustrated too. And I can understand if they didn't run again. But when you don't run, then you leave it open for somebody to sit in that seat that's going to be just there to get along, go along to get along. They're going to be a part of the status quo. This
Mm,
city here, if you look at the what is happening at City Hall, you have some people fighting for the people and some people acting like they're fighting for the people
mhm,
and just putting on a charade. So that is part of our problem here. So I would tell Mayor Bottoms to just keep fighting. I don't know why she want to get out of the way. You just got to stay in there until it can get better. You got to advocate
mhm,
and you got to recruit people that's going to come in that's going to help you do the right thing. That's all.
mhm. Yeah, I thought that was quite a thing too. Is that what you said is exactly right. You open a door for people who may not even have the same passion, and then what? Um, so I found it to be quite interesting that abruptly, and I don't know if it was abruptly, but to make the decision at this time, kind of in the middle of okay, we're in between people making a decision and election season, that she didn't make this announcement maybe earlier. Um, but as we think about leadership, I know, Julius, you brought up the idea of previous leaders. What are, as we look for people to lead our cities and our counties, what are things that we need to start looking for? And I'll give you a great example of what I mean. I'm so excited that Joe Biden started talking about infrastructure. That's an issue I was thinking about 2 years ago. Um, and even in the city of Savannah, if you are someone running for any office and you're not talking about infrastructure, something's wrong. So, what are some things that you all look for when you start going to the polls or when you start looking at platforms that you think people who lead in city and county government should be thinking about?
Davion, you if you want to answer that, you can.
Okay. So for me personally, like when I think about like the whole election thing, I don't vote off of what everybody else say at all, or who they think should be, the next in office or whatever. I vote off of platform. I vote off of previous things that they have done, and I look in detail of what exactly are you doing and what are you doing for the community, because some people actually, yes, they have been doing things, but they not doing it for the people. So um when I look into them, I look and see, it will they be a good fit. And if they're a good fit, I'm gonna continue to watch them. I'm gonna see if they're gonna, what mistakes they make, what things that uh what are they doing for, for the for students, for their community, for just for anything. That's what I do. I just look at it at a higher rate. I put everybody at a higher standard, and once I put everybody at a higher standard, I kind of start eliminating. Okay, this person is doing this person is doing that, and that's how I do it. I know a lot of people. I have family members be like, "Hey, you should just vote for this person because of blah blah blah." I'm like, "Okay, you can tell me that, and you can try to make me vote, persuade me. But at the end of the day, I'm going to do my own research. I'm going to look and see what exactly they are doing to for me to get their vote."
But how do you tell the difference between substance and fluff? Because we got a lot of people here. One person in particular, I'm not even going to call their name right now, but that person is so full of fluff and there's no substance.
Mhm.
But it
Hmm.
looks like he's doing a whole hell of a lot, but it's a lot of fluff. So
Yeah.
how do a young person, you if you look at this guy, you think that, oh man, he's awesome. He's on the news every day. Oh man, he has to be advocating for the people. He's doing great things. How do you, as a young person, how do you differentiate what he's doing that is substantive and what is just some fluff?
Hmm. And like, so coming from college, being in leadership positions, I see a lot of fluff. I see a lot of people just running for the clout, or they running because they well known, or whatever. But I know for me, like, I just do the research. I look at them. I see what they do. I see how they move. I see how they do everything and how they communicate with the people. If they not ready, I can tell that. I mean, I don't know how to say it, but I could just see that. I'm like, okay, yeah, this person not it. And I have people that's gonna say, oh yeah, they best fit the job. I'm like, no, no, and they be like, why? And I can just name everything or whatever, just why they don't fit the job. So and you have to be intelligent, and you have to know how to, when it comes to election and stuff like that, you have to know what you're looking for. And it's not all about you, it's about other people as well too. The lower community, the higher community, you got to see how they react to all the situations, not just one thing. And that's probably another, that's how I can probably tell how they react to uh different communities, and if they putting on the show for this community, or if they not putting on the show for this community. And that's
Oh,
probably how I could tell it.
were you at the Ossoff came to Savannah State the other night? Did you go?
Oh no, sir, I wasn't there.
Okay. Um, you know, we you got a lot of people that are about fluff, and a lot of people that mean what they say.
Hmm.
And when you mean what you say, then your actions prove
Right.
what it is. You don't set up committees and task force to do stuff that you can do.
Hmm.
Well,
You want to study things for 4 years, and then you want to tell us, give us a report about, if I give you another chance, then you will be able to accomplish what you didn't do in the first 4 years. But
Right.
so it's a lot of fluff. We have to watch that.
And
Um,
Yeah.
but
like I was gonna say, so like I said, I didn't go to the also thingy or whatever at Savannah State, trying to finish my finals and stuff to graduate or whatever. But a lot of people been posting everything that he said he was gonna do for Savannah State, blah blah blah. And that's another thing. You can say it, but your actions, like you said, Mr. Hall, your actions speak louder. So we'll see if he say what he said he was gonna do. If he do it, okay, I congratulate you. But if not, don't tell no, just because you're there giving a speech or whatever. So I mean, I'm not gonna uh be negative about the situation. If he do what he have to do, then hey, thank you for what you did for my alma mater. But if you're not, it's just like, why did you come and say you're gonna do all of these things and you don't do it? So actions do speak louder than words, and we're gonna see.
well,
I can,
well,
I can say from I can say for me, it goes to two things: ideas and outcomes. If you don't bring forth an idea, or you don't have an idea that aligns with the community, that's an issue for me. So, for example, if the next person that runs for any office in the city of Savannah, if you're not talking about infrastructure as this region is growing, I can't vote for you. If you're not talking about a broader issue for the state of Georgia, where we're not having the conversation of nonviolent offenders not being incarcerated, I'm not voting for you. Those are some ideas that we need to start seeing, and not necessarily progressive ideas, because I'm more when it comes to fiscal and monetary things. I'm more conservative on that end. So if you're not talking about some real ideas that we can compromise on, then I probably won't be voting for you. And I'm not. I'm loyal to voters. I'm not loyal to a party, and we're seeing too much of that. The other thing is outcomes. What like you all have been talking about. What have you done? How do we measure your words? Because hell, anybody can come in here and talk about building the wall, but can you really get that done? You know what I mean? So
yeah, and and what we need, we have to know when our time is over. We got people that's trying to get back in races now that's been around for 50, 60 years in politics, and they should sit down. Um, you know, uh, and I wanted to get a couple of these. I want to thank everybody for watching. Y'all share, share, share. Diane Brown, Douse, John McMaster, Cecilia Cook, Chuck Fagan. Chuck, you one of them people that I don't always get along with. And I've always told you that you should run for office because you're real damn smart. And you should run for office. You'll get a lot of people backing you. You just got to be you young, just like Devion there, and you're bright and you got great ideas. So you should throw yourself out there just to get that your feet wet, so we can you have the backing. You got all the attributes that's needed to get to the next level, and we need people like Chuck Fagan. We need people like Devion. To come in and take over. About like Keisha said, she's passing the baton. She young and passing the baton. You know what I'm saying? She still got a lot of life left that she could serve and serve the people. But we have to understand that it is a time when we got to step out the way. I'm running for
mhm.
mayor of Fort Wentworth now. Um, you don't live in Fort Wentworth, do you, Devion? I need you to vote for me. Um, but I know when to get out the way. Hell, when I'm no more useful, but I see that it's a need for this now. I know that I live in Mayberry. You know, I know that I live in Mayberry, North Carolina. That's what this city is. But I'm going to try to make it Mount Pilot, the capital
Mhm.
of North Carolina back then. I think that was the capital back then, or Raleigh, what it is now. But I don't know, y'all. That's probably over your head, Davion, because that's an old Andy Griffin show. You probably didn't watch Andy Griffin Bonnie fight back in the day. Yeah,
No
you was
sir.
too young. But anyway, Uh, we have to know when to get out the way. She feels like it's her time, so we'll see whether she does something else. I guess she should be running for Secretary of State or something,
I,
something. You know, she still got a lot of life, I think. But we want to thank everybody. Terry Mobley for your comments. Ivan Cohen, John, uh, Chuck. Thank y'all for your comments also. Natalie.
yeah, and I
Okay, I
think
got some
Davion has
more up
something.
here. Who we got?
No, I
John
think no.
McMaster said, let's get to Chuck. Chuck said we need two new bridges over the Savannah River, one to replace the Talmadge and one extending the Truman over the river so that we can ban trucks from downtown. We need that rapid rail to Atlanta
Look,
too. See, that's the kind of ideas that
that's
we talking
infrastructure.
about.
That's infrastructure. Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
infrastructure. That's
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
type of ideas we talking about. That's the type of ideas that we need.
Yeah.
We need people up there voicing it. We need new leaders instead of people who just want to keep the city at a stalemate so that those who have always ate and sat at the table can continue to do so. And we got to
Right.
stop
And Julius, I know Davion's got to go, so we're gonna give him a few final comments, and we're gonna go back to Chuck's comment. All right, Mr.
Yeah.
Vice President, are you gonna last
that.
word from you?
Yes, sir. And thank you for you guys for having me on your show. I truly enjoyed it, learned a lot. But um, like I said, I feel like that there will be a lot of young people in the next year or two that are going to be running for high positions. I know people that graduated with me today, that was alongside with me in SGA. That's very, very, political, and see themselves running for higher positions. And there's a lot of college grads around the world that are going to, continue that, pride, and their HBCU pride, or, that pride. And, they're going to go out there and they're going to do big things. And guess what? I'm going to be right there rooting behind them, because guess what? They probably was sitting right beside me at graduation, or they probably was in this class of 2021. Thank you
All
guys for
right.
having me on the show, and hopefully I get invited next time.
Oh yeah, and congratulations on y'all's new president. They finally seated one, but we won't go that route today. All right,
Okay.
man. Have a good. Congratulations again to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
All right. So back to Chuck's converse piece. This is a. I said this a year ago, Chuck. Man, I don't understand how anybody can run for any office in this city or county and not talk about high speed rail. I don't know if people are missing it, but if you look at if you look at Atlanta, people don't think about Atlanta as just Fulton County. They think Fulton County, Cobb, that regional perspective, DeKalb. That's exactly where we are. We're looking at Bryan, Chatham, Scriven, Bullock. We are now a regional entity, and for us not to talk about high speed rail and the extension of how our roads are overpopulated, I'm lost. I'm lost.
You know, let's get some of these other comments, and then I'm gonna give you what I feel about leadership here. Um, like Terry say, just watch people's actions. John McMaster says autocratic leadership is holding us down. There's a council that has trouble getting their work done. That's correct. Tony Riley, the Republicans have made it clear that they oppose the Democrats' agenda. It's going to be hard for Ossoff and Warnock. Uh, they still got the majority. It ain't gonna be too hard. They can still do whatever they need to do if they have the will. And then we got an election coming up where they probably can replace some of those senators after a while too,
Yeah.
in a few months. If it's in the city and the mayor control the majority, you could not get anything on the agenda, Mr. Bryant. Uh,
Dang. That's another
that's Jackson
conversation.
John. Dr. Tanya Howard Hall said thumbs up. Uh, Tony Riley said, Julia, stop soliciting for business. Okay. I don't know what kind of business. I'll contribute to Chuck's campaign. Run, Chuck, run. That's right. We need Chuck to run. Chuck is a bright young man. He young as hell and he bright. And we need people like him and Devion. The bridge over the river is an old idea. Tony Riley, you sound like you're going to be one of them people we don't need in office. Chuck should run against Dietrich. he can better Dietrich. That's right. If Chuck is in that district, we coming out to support Chuck against Dietrich. Let's do that. Mayor Johnson is talking about high speed rail. Mayor Johnson just
When?
talked.
I must have missed that
All Mayor
conversation.
Johnson do is talk. I'm going to talk about Mayor Johnson in a minute. I know everybody's figuring I'm running for mayor. I shouldn't be talking about another mayor. Well, I ain't damn mayor yet. I'm going to talk about everybody until I get to be where I am. I'm going to win. So you can don't even worry about that. Uh, uh, why do you think Mickey Stevens not stepping down? And then we wondering about that now. Mickey Stevens should be stepping down. Manchin is really a Republican, and he is an obstructionist.
I don't
Manchin
think so.
really is. Manchin
I don't
really
know.
is a Republican. He just, I don't know what he's doing. In Port Wentworth, can any
Trying
city
to get
council member
clout.
put an item on the agenda? In Port Wentworth, any city council member can put an item on the agenda. And if you come move to Port Wentworth, you're going to be able to put an item on the agenda. Mayor Van is fake. You're absolutely correct with that. I want to get to that real quick because we're talking about leadership, and it's a couple
Hmm.
of things. Did you see the new initiative that he came out with about crime in the city? And it was
No.
such a major thing that he came out with. I got a couple of points on that. It's three things I want to say about that. And anybody listening to this, I'm going to tell me, you can tell the mayor I said this. I don't give a damn.
I
Um,
said it. Take a page out of Alicia's book. I
yeah, like
said
Alicia Blake, I said it. Yeah, I said it.
it.
Uh, one, if you look at the 10 things, he had to come up with 10 things that was not very damn creative. He came up with 10 things. The first thing when I read those 10 things, it showed me that he hate women. He does not like women. I
Mhm.
don't know why so many women follow him and why y'all are all fool, but this guy does not like women. Period. Don't like women. Number two, he has absolutely no damn idea what he's doing. He is a smart guy. He is. But this guy has no idea with what he came out with the other day. If that's the best you can do, it had no policy of nothing in it.
Mhm.
Absolutely no substance. It was all fluff. It was just for the papers and the press to look at. That was some garbage. You blamed every mother for their own son's death. You blamed every mother for every child that gets in trouble. Sometimes it's beyond their control. It's peer pressure. It's a lot of things that are happening around these kids that we don't see that we need to get over. If you did anything, what you should have did in those 10 points is challenge every man to step up and get one of those kids and put them under their wings. You didn't do that. You challenged
Mhm.
the mothers. You talked about the mothers. You don't think those mothers are grieving? And one mother in particular, I am just so sorry that you didn't step up and say anything. Because this man was telling you that you were responsible for your own child's death. It was ludicrous. I said I wasn't saying no more about this man because I'm running for mayor. And so I said I'm not going to get into that. It's not going to be one of my talking points. But when I saw this stupid doo doo, I said, "What the hell is this? This the best you can do, dude? You could have sat down and said, I'll come out with it in a week." So like he sat on the
Well,
toilet and wrote that. Come
and
on,
at the
man.
end of the day, and I'm reading it now, and I was like, you can't be for real. And I'm not going the individual. I'm not going to harp on. My issue is this: moms and dads are not the police force. There's a reason why we hire a police chief, and if the police chief can't figure it out, then I'm looking at whoever hired that person. So that we won't go there. The second thing is we've got to go beyond paper words on paper. This is the issue that we're seeing here and in Atlanta. It goes beyond this list of 10 things to tell mothers to do. This is, like I said, this is even paper worthy. To be honest with you, I'll just put out there. We need some real policy. And we need a conversation where we have community. Again, we do all these task force. What are the outcomes? That's my question I'm posing right now. What are the outcomes that these task forces are supposed to give us? And what I'm thinking about now is, why have we yet to have a conversation where we bring in community leaders, where we bring together the police chiefs, some of the captains, our city council together? Let's have a real conversation, because words on paper is telling moms that you need to go spank the hands of the people who are being bad. This is a little bit more severe than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, very
I
good
mean,
observation.
what bothers me too is, where's the county commission in this? Where's the county chairman in this? Where
Where
is
Where is the NAACP? I need y'all to stand up too. Chad, I'm gonna give you a call to have you on the show. Let's see if we can get Chad on next week because we
Oh
need
yeah,
a more active. I don't care if you call. I'm a member. Call us the action. We need to form a committee that we're going to look into this on the NAACP. Let's have see if we can get Chad on next week. I don't want to talk
oh yeah.
about it. Me and him, I had a conversation. I promise that I'm not going to be talking about the NAACP. I'm going to be backing and helping him do whatever he can to make things work.
Well,
One
yeah.
thing Tony Riley said that I don't agree with: the majority of Savannah supports the mayor. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think
Um,
that you're right with that. I don't know what majority you talking about.
Well,
What majority you been in touch with? The majority of Savannah is pissed off with the mayor. The ones I talk with.
can was that
Yeah,
right?
Pam.
John hit it right on the head.
Yeah, John.
And honestly, it's how I've seen situations like that, very much like John's talking about. See, I was fortunate. I was fortunate enough when I was coming up, my mom and dad were retired by the time I get to middle school. So there was no coming home and getting into bad things or getting into mischief. I didn't have that option. But that is a real thing where you have moms and dads and sometimes single moms working 2 or 3 jobs just to feed the kids. They can't do it all. And that's why I said this list of 10 is just bull, because how do you expect a mom to be like there's a song, I'm not your superwoman. So we've got to stop putting, we talked about this 2 weeks ago. We've got to
Yeah,
stop putting
yeah,
things on the back of black women and expecting them to solve every problem. And then
yeah,
we don't want to give them that just due in society.
yeah. And you got men. I mean, I'm out here, and I got my kids were not my kids, the kids that I mentor.
Right.
They just left my house. You know, I put them to work. I try to make sure they don't get in any trouble.
Hmm.
I know that these kids were the bad ones in my neighborhood, stealing bikes, jumping people fences, all kind of
Hmm.
stuff, always in fights. I took these kids under my wing because I saw it was my responsibility that I had to do something or I know where they would be going. They just left my house doing work, cutting my grass, cleaning out the utility house. I take them out and work them, you know,
Hmm.
and that's the call he should have made for us to step up, for men to step up. Don't blame the woman. Don't blame the woman. It seems like you hate women or something. I don't know what it was.
Well, the thing is, I just it's when you start having it's so interesting to me. We are bust our tails to fix a pandemic that started in another country. We go crazy over that, but we have a pandemic right in front of us that has been existing for years, and it's going to take more than just writing down words on a paper that sound very esoteric. Esoteric words are not going to save us right now. Like you said, we've got fraternities, sororities, churches. We have resources right here in this city. We have grants, we have funds, we have money, and it's going to take more than us just putting words on paper to solve this. This is the pandemic we have now. I remember I was here many years ago and we had a similar kind of thing when I was growing up. And how much are these people making? They're making these decisions. How much is our mayor making? How much is our police chief making? How much is the county manager making? The city manager making? And all we can get is 10 lists. Is, moms, can you save us? I don't think that's adequate leadership.
Yeah. Um, it there's a lot that can be done, especially when you know where most of the crime is happening at. Um, like, take Fort Wentworth, for instance. I know that there's always police up on Highway 21. If I had a problem with what is going on in this city with a crime problem, those police officers would not be sitting on Highway 21. You have to redirect your police. That's why people want to defund the police. But I'm calling it, while I'm running up here, we're going to reorganize the police. The police
Mm-hmm.
is a needed entity. We have to have the police. Without the police, there's chaos. But I don't want to. You can't get rid of the police. I'm a former police officer. I know it's important. What we have to have is a redirection of their mission, and
Mm-hmm.
it has to be reorganized. And when I'm mayor up here, I'll show you how to reorganize it, because it's going to be reorganized, or somebody's head's going to roll. That's just what it's going to be. You got to have leadership that's not afraid to say what they feel, and you got to be able to be honest and truthful with the people. That's what it's about. You have to be
Mm-hmm.
honest and truthful with the people. You know, um, it's just frustrating sometimes when you see stupid stuff and you know a person. I know this man is smarter than that. I don't know what has gotten into him, but I know darn well he is smarter than that. He is. He is smarter than that. And he needs to come up with another 10-point plan that has a call to action. Yeah, I would have been better if he'd have called for a task force of men.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been better than that garbage he put out the other day. Task force of men. You got to be bold these days when you talk about leaders. You know, MLK, Malcolm X, Nelson Mandela, Nat Turner, John Lewis, Dick Gregory. You got people that led and loved their community. You know, and if you don't want to emulate these people, then you don't need to be serving in office, because it ain't about the people; it's about you. You know, I'm not going to Port Wentworth for any money. It's not about money. I'm not trying to be the mayor for money. They don't pay nothing. But I'm going to change that government. You better believe that. There's going to be a better Port Wentworth when I'm finished. It's not about money.
That's
Most
the
people
truth.
want deals and money.
That's right. I think what it comes down to is vision too. One of the things that keeps popping up is people how many press conferences?
John
But
said, what do you say? How many press conferences per day will
press
I
conference.
hold? I'm not going to hold but one every right after city council, before city council. I'm going to make city council 2 times a week. Right now in Port Wentworth, we have council 1 time a month. How the hell in a growing city like this that we're going to do the business of the people 1 time a month? Once a month. You got city. No, that's changing when I get there. We're going to change the
Yeah.
charter. It's going to be 2 times a month. Um, um, Hell, we need to meet more than that. You're in a growing city. This city
Yeah.
is 75 years behind the times, and we're going to move the clock forward on Port Wentworth. I can guarantee you that.
Oh
Bernard said,
yeah.
"Happy Mother's Day to all our beautiful
That's
mothers."
true.
Tony Riley said, "Let's stop being so critical and let's talk about solutions." Tony Riley, let's stop being so supportive and talk about solutions.
Well, the
You
solution is putting
always
the right
say that.
people. Well, the solution is putting the right people in place, because it's only that vision. And it goes back to what we were talking about last week. If you're voting for people who don't have a vision, then we have what we have, what we have. And what that means is, like I said, if I don't, and this is for state and local people who are running, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green Party, or independent. If you're not talking about infrastructure, if you're not talking about criminal justice reform, I will not vote for you, period. And other people need to have their pieces like that and start thinking forward, not progressive, think forward. You can't sit here, and I'll give you a great example by that. If you look at West Savannah, West Savannah looks the same way that it did 30 years ago. If you're voting for someone who does not talk about moving that community forward and doing some good things for that community, you gotta start thinking about stuff like that. Stop voting for people because they're just the first or the most popular, or because, oh, I know them from high school. Well, if they were lame in high school, they're gonna be a lame leader, you know?
John said, we believed we had the right people. You're right, John. We thought we did. They fooled us. At least three of them did. They really fooled us. Purdy, Linda, and Dietrich. They fooled us. We knew what Van was going to do. It wasn't no doubt. We already knew it. We was planning. But evidently, so our plan backfired. Tony Riley said, let's talk about Chatham County School Board. What you want to
Talk
talk about
about
the
it.
school board? Be more specific about what you want to talk about the Chatham County School Board. We can talk
Well,
about if the school board also. Let's talk about it. They seem to be the only ones that can get anything right is that school board. Uh,
Jay
Jay Jones,
Jones.
we got to stop being scary. You're absolutely right. Dion Groover, what's up, Groove Line? What is your plan to change the good old boy system, which is a major component that's causing a lot of this strife? In Pope Wentworth, the good old boy system ends November 3rd. Um, John said,
About
tell
what,
us
Doc?
more. Well, I might have to get on the platform and do it. This ain't the right one, I don't guess, even though it's my platform. We got we gonna have to. I'm gonna come on Better Savannah and do it. And you can broadcast to all the Port Wentworth people. Question: when is the next voting for Mayor Savannah?
I
They
think
got
2 more
about
years.
32 months or something like that, Bernard. They got a little
Uh-huh.
while. 2023. Yeah, they got a little while. But Tony Ryder said, let's start with all the money that's spent with out of town contractors. I
That
guess
that that that
they
that
got the
that's
best
interesting
bid.
too. That's
I don't
interesting
know.
too.
That is something. It needs to be Savannah first, Chatham first. It needs to be like Savannah has a policy where they try to do Savannah first. There needs to be a Chatham first initiative, probably with Chatham
Well, honestly,
agencies like the school board and the county commission.
oh yeah, and honestly, that should be a common sense thing as a leader. But again, when you have a leader that doesn't think about their people or their community, you start getting stuff like that. I think yesterday I read where uh, the state of Georgia contracted something out to a company in the United Kingdom. What kind of sense does that make when you have the same resources right here in your backyard? But you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, and it don't. And sometimes it's just who you know. Sometimes
uh
they do that. Bernard Brown said, "Damn, you got deal with Van Johnson that from."
y'all slow down. Boy, y'all dirty. Y'all dirty, boy, I swear. But
I
okay,
can't.
there's
I,
no hold barred.
yeah, no holds barred. Jay Jones said there's a local preference first policy for the county. And the school board should have that also if they don't have it already, because and those companies they make so much money they move here, so then they become local. You know,
Hmm.
they move it. It makes so much money. You find you building $160 million school, and the school didn't cost you but $100 million to build. You just made $60 million. You know, that's with costs and everything. You just they getting over like fat rats when I look at it. You know, uh, why is Van credit for Amazon coming to unincorporated Chatham? Oh, why is Van taking credit for Amazon coming to unincorporated Chatham? I have no idea. Amazon is in Port Wentworth. I'm gonna take credit for
You talk to Jeff Bezos himself.
it. Over 600 million spent on building new schools, and local businesses are not getting a fair share. I agree with you, Tony Riley. I agree with you. Run for school board. Run for school board. Let's get that paperwork straight so we can get you on the school board. We need men on the school board. We need
Yeah,
role models, strong role models on the school board for men. We
yeah.
we, we do. Re-elect Dr. Tanya Howard Hall, school board. That's absolutely correct. Dr. Tanya Howard Hall in May. What deal with Tony Riley? I don't know what Tony Riley deal is. 5 seats on the ballot in
For
21.
25.
Dion Groover, many have been raised, and orientated to think that the way they do, having that superiority complex, that African American are not capable of running the government or such office that you are seeking, I guess.
Well, I can see that, but I can also see this whole. I'm glad that he brought that up because this has come up before and has been said to me is this idea of waiting your turn. So what I mean by that is we have those our brothers and sisters, African Americans that have these offices that have this concept that you wait your turn or you go through this rite of passage. That's not leadership. That's called gatekeeping. And so I'm glad we have people that have enough sense to know that, yeah, that mysterious wall may exist, but we're going to go right through it. Because at the end of the day, ideas matter than this rite of passage. And it is what it is.
Tony Riley said, let's talk about the present school board. Tony Riley, what do you want to talk about this present school board? We can have you on, come on the Rabble on Wednesday night, Tony Riley. You invited on the Rabble on Wednesday night so you could have your say about everything that's going on in this city or this county. You can have your say. I welcome you on. Give me a call after this show goes off and we'll get you on for Wednesday night so you can have your say about everything that's going on. We want to bring the people the truth. If you think that you have the truth, come on in and let's talk about it Wednesday night, 7 p.m. on the Rabble. We welcome you. I mean, we probably be some people in there that want to tear you apart, but come on over there if you got tough skin.
Yeah, don't do
Come
Mr.
on over
Ryan like
there.
that.
You know,
Don't do the brother like that.
he wants to come on. You know, he said, "What is the problem on the school board?" I don't know what the problem on the school board. I don't. The school board seem to be running the
Look at
way
what
they
John
want to run. Why aren't they
said.
spending dollars with local businesses? Tony Riley, you got to go and address them with that. Let's address it on Wednesday night. You can come and address it on Wednesday night and ask Joe Buck why he isn't spending money with the local school board.
Is
I mean,
Joe
with the
running
local
again?
business. Huh?
Will Joe be running again?
I don't know.
Joe
Joe,
Buck.
80 years old.
Yeah, Joe and I come from the same profession, student affairs.
Yeah, Joe, 80 years old. Joe, I don't know whether Joe gonna run or not. We'll see. But that is a good question, Tony Riley. I do agree with you. If they're not spending any money locally, then they should have a policy where they try to do Chatham first.
Yeah,
It is
I agree.
about this area, it's our tax-paying dollars that need to be spent with companies that can do those services that are out of town. If a company that is from Chatham bid is in the area for the lowest bidder and they're second, I think if it's possible that it could be given to the Chatham area business, then it needs to
Uh-huh.
be given to the Chatham area business.
Right. Yeah.
The city has budgeted 300 million and the board, the city has a budget of 300 million and the board has a budget of 600 million. That is true. Thanks, but we have enough all show, no, go get elected people. We've had enough. We are fighting the wrong battle. Well,
But then
come and tell us.
and then back to Tony's piece now, city and county, when you start talking about school board, isn't school board a county entity versus a city? I think when you start comparing those budgets, you're comparing two different things now. You have a county piece, which is Chatham County Schools, then you have the city of Savannah, which so I think
Well,
we're talking about
the school budget's usually going to be bigger than the city budget anyway, because you
right.
got 38,000 kids that you got to take care of, 5,000
Salaries.
employees. Yeah. So
Hmm.
it's the maintenance on all those buildings. You got 30 schools or something like that. I don't know. We need some professionals to answer those questions that's connected to the school, and not the board. I don't think you need those people that are inside, uh, that handles those things. So we'll Tony Riley, if you we'll do the research and see if we can get those people on along with you, so you can ask those tough questions. You
Hmm.
need to if you're going to run for office, I guess you need to start reinventing yourself anyway, Tony. My sister Patricia Walker's always want me to be nice. She said, just hit me in the head.
No.
She always wanted to hit me in the head. Okay. There's a 2 to 3% margin allowed for local preference bid. Okay. Then you can do it. If they're in there, then they need to be in their local preference. Tony
Hmm.
Riley said, I'm talking about how the money is spent.
Well,
And board budget entails federal, state, and local funds. That's why it is way more than just the
right.
cities. You know. So Tony Riley, when this show goes off in about a few minutes, you can call me and we can set you up for Tuesday. I mean for Wednesday, and so you can get on and stop dealing from behind the curtains, and you can get on and talk, and people gonna either love you or hate you, and because they hated you with that Sisters of the Confederacy stuff that you was talking, that you're gonna see, make sure that they okay when you was on last time. So so
Okay.
let's see what happens. Seriously, the board is getting a pass. Okay, well, come and tell us why. Natalie Smith Leggett says, when will the city require SCAD to give
Uh,
back to the communities they're destroying in the city? That's a good question, too. Um,
that
Bernard
might be
Brown
a
said, Tony got a lot of questions. You need to come on this. You need to come on the show on Wednesday, Bernard.
no.
You can question Tony on Wednesday. If Tony come on the show, we're gonna ask Tony to ask all those questions, and then we can see whether we can get him some answers on Wednesday. If not Wednesday, we'll have you back on here next Saturday, Tony. And
Hmm.
Robert can have all. You can ask Robert all those questions beforehand, so he can try to get somebody on here to give you those answers.
Look here.
Okay. What's that? PM 12
12
May.
p.m. in the afternoon of May 12th, they have a budget meeting. 6 o'clock p.m. We
Okay.
might even go cover that. May 12th.
Okay. You see that? May 12th. You can come on
Is
there
that
at
open to the public?
a public education budget hearing
On the
at
12th.
the board complex. You can
May
be there,
12th.
Tony, and ask all those questions. I don't know who Tony throwing shots at. I guess he's throwing shots at Joe Buck.
You better leave your book alone.
Yeah, bring solutions, Tony. You love solutions.
Y'all leave Tony
You
right.
know, he keeps saying bring solutions. He don't want you to criticize nobody. See, you don't bring attention to anything until you criticize it, Tony. That's what you got to understand. There are solutions. Solution is letting somebody else have a damn say every now and then. Especially when you're talking about the city of Savannah. When you're talking about the city of Savannah, see, try something else if it ain't working. Hell, if it ain't working, try something else. Call your boy and tell him to watch this show and see what I said about it. I don't care. Hell, ain't nothing you can do to me.
So on the
Anyway,
12th.
be there on the 12th, Tony, and you got permission
To record it.
to be there. They already told you where to be at. And you can also come and be on the Rabble on Wednesday, or you can be on um, the
Watch
Watch
Dawgs.
Dogs next Saturday, or you
Hmm.
can come and be on um, and talk about. I guess well, Tony must have a business that since he's concerned about what they're doing at the school board, he
No.
has to have a business that he's concerned with.
No, I think it'll be
I,
great though. go to the meeting on the 12th, and then next Saturday, let's talk about it.
Good Lord, Tony, you done got my wife to writing something big now, man. Good Lord, baby, I can't put all that up there. Let me see what it say.
Go ahead and try it. Let's try
You read it, then.
it. Oh no, everybody, we're gonna use our first grade skill. We ain't
The
gonna read all
board of
that.
The Board of
Now,
Public Education for the City of Savannah and the County of Chatham will hold a public hearing. Okay, she telling you where it's going to be at, and
you can
everything.
even
All
bring oral
citizens and
comments.
employees are invited to attend and provide the board with oral comments concerning the proposed budget. To get on the public hearing agenda, please call the board. Okay, you
Well,
got
y'all
that.
got our sister Howard Hall pissed off. Julius, you ain't gonna have dinner tonight.
Hey, hey, I need to have every board member on here. I need to have 5 of them on here. See if I can get 4 or 5 of them on here. Business as usual, no thanks. Hey, Bernard say run and tell that. Monterey show.
I think we need to have Joe, and Tony on next Saturday.
Joe who?
Joe Buck.
Oh, Joe Buck. Joe ain't coming on here. Well, Joe not coming on here.
Yeah. Oh
Tony
man,
Monshow. Chuck, Chuck, John McMahon said
John.
Tony ain't gonna show. I'm gonna see, Tony. You gonna be here next Wednesday, or are you gonna be here next Saturday? We gonna
But
see.
in all seriousness, though, on a whole nother note, talking about leadership and accountability, I agree. We need to start looking at the salaries of our commissioners, all the people, and folks on the school board. We expect people to come in and provide this quality leadership, and don't want to compensate for that. You can't expect a champagne budget and offer bare resources.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Um,
So hey,
well, the topic of our show today is profiles in courage. What leadership looks like, and what leadership should look like.
hmm
And I know y'all probably saying, "Ooh, this boy here, he talking all that noise." We want you to get up there in the city hall so we could. I know. Well, when I get there, I'm kind of like I got to shut up about things in other cities. I can only talk about my city then. So I would say the best choice for Van is to come out here and campaign for me. I would say that that's his best choice is to come out here and campaign for me. Then I can't say nothing about it. Because I'm not going to say anything about another city too much. It'll be somebody else on this platform doing it, Robert or whatever, or whoever. But I won't be stopping it. But
right.
you all can say what you got to say. But Don Brown said, Tony, meet with Ms. Hall if you got questions about the school board. I think she got all the answers that you need. Okay, now go away.
Y'all
And
so messed.
beer
Look,
budget and
Jay Jones,
champagne
I took that
drinking.
right out of his book. That's where I got, but that's truly where the idea came from, and you know, we need to have Tony and Jay come on here. That's what.
Breaking news: Joe Marinelli running for mayor, and if he's elected, he makes Paula Wallace city manager. Wow, awesome, Joe Marinelli. Well, I guess he is a little bit better than. Man, is he gonna bring Visit Savannah with him in the? he gonna bring, he over Visit Savannah, right? Marinelli making $400,000 a year in taxpayer money for advertising for the city when you could do it for 40,000. I don't know what the hell wrong with him. Julius, just have my package ready. He got bigger plans. Uh, oh, oh, no, Jay. Jay, you have my package ready because he ain't got no plans but what he's doing right now. Believe that. He ain't got no bigger plans. Have my package ready.
Oh Lord, hold my mule.
Tony Riley said, "Get serious." Tony Riley, we are serious. Um, only a van doesn't run. Oh, Marinelli is running. Only a van doesn't run. Ain't no damn body know who the hell Marinelli is. The only one know him is the elected officials and those that are plugged in. Marinelli don't have a snowball chance in hell of winning. The dog will beat Marinelli. Only one know him is us. Ain't nobody in the public. You walk up and show his picture to 1,000 people in the street. Nary MF is going to know him. Nary one. 1,000 people. Nobody will know him. The hell he going to win? Let him run. Let him run.
Well,
Tony Riley will beat him. And Tony, I'm banking you for mayor if Marinelli runs. Okay. Well, anyway, people.
all right, man.
We had a lively discussion.
Oh yeah.
And Jay say he's not giving that money and power up to run for a city position. No, he's not giving that money and power up to run for no city position. And if he does, Jay, and they tell him that he can win, it's because they're going to want him to steal something for somebody bigger and the money already paid to him. So you know that. So people do things for a reason. Tony say, be serious. You will win if Marinelli runs, Tony Riley. You can run. To call me after the show, Tony Riley. Anyway, that's our show for today, people.
Yeah. We'll be back next week, Saturday at noon.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks. Y'all share this program. Share. We're here every Saturday. We're going to have some bright talent on. Chuck Fagan, we looking for you to come on. You and John McMasters and Jay Jones. And we're going to have Bernard Brown. We're going to get an all-star panel either this Saturday or the following Saturday so we can probably in 2 weeks, we're going to try to get this lively discussion going if Tony Riley don't show. They say that Tony Riley ain't going to show on Wednesday, so I'm going to see. Tony, you can call me as soon as you hear this music come up. So we can talk about what you're talking about so I can bring it up on Wednesday if you don't show. And we're going to see if we can put you on Better Savannah, too, so we can give you a platform so you can talk about what you talk about. Anyway, another great show. Thank you, Vanessa. Tony Riley said, McMaster, you are absolutely correct. All right. We any last words?
Well, no, I just, what I'm interested in to see if we talk about this budget piece next week. I'm interested to dig more into that. And so we're all about bringing the facts. So whoever goes out to that meeting on the 12th, get the investigation done. One of us may go out there. Well, let's talk about it next week. Let's talk about these budgets and who decides the budgets and how do people get involved with that? Because if the budget's not being spent, talk about budgets. East Plus. We need to talk about that and how that's directed and handled. Because when you think about certain parts of the city and East Plus money, some of y'all getting gypped. I'm just gonna say it like that, and that's my final words.
And you know one thing that I want to know, Robert, I want Jay Jones to come on and Jerome Irvin and probably a couple of other people because it's this money that's been earmarked for black businesses that I want to know about also because they say it's it's almost like some reparations they tried to give. But I want to know who's in control of this money, who's the administrator of it, and who gets it, what are the stipulations and qualifications and all those things. Those are things that we need to tell the people. And so if you are free next week, we need to have you on, and let's see what we can go with this. All right. Yeah. John McMaster say buy low, sell high. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Thanks for tuning in. Share, and don't forget, vote for Julius Hall. Mayor Pope Wentworth, November 2nd. I'm going to show you how it's done. It ain't about me. It's about the people. And when you make it about the people, you can make a difference. All right?
Okay, now. Next week.